and welcome to next episode of Wall Street Station channel. That's the episode going live, so we're gonna dive into the world of Amazon stock today. There will be a captivating journey through its financial landscape. There will be fundamentals, technicals, sentiment, latest updates, whatever you want, and of course, some revelations out of the option chain. So stay by the end, as there will be many of those things that are head scratchers right at the end of in the second part of our today's journey. So I'm very glad you decided to pop in. So tell your neighbor that the broadcast already started, as the chat is going live, so you may also post questions right here right now. So if you wanna have a deeper understanding what is going underneath this one of the greatest stock of latest decades, one of the tech giants, one of the companies that is also included into this one of the seven magnificent band that is pushing the valuation of the US indexes forward, then just let's get into this right with us. So with that being said, we are right now jumping into Amazon overview, and we are at first jumping into hard data. Let me just change the windows and let me know in the comments whether everything works fine in order to proceed. All right, so we are jumping to first financials. I will have it magnified for you. So if you are just listening to this on your smartphone, you may just turn on your screen and just look at those data, those bar charts with us. So when it comes to one of the most outstanding data that I wanted to point out on for Amazon, it's everything is rising. Normally, operating income has dropped. I'll get back to this later, but with the operating income, what drags also ahead is the operating where is it? It's operating margin has dropped. So lately, in the past few quarters, we had this very turbulent time. In 2022, there was a time with a broken and disrupted supply chains that has literally weighed on Amazon services. Out of the shipping industry was broken. Also, there was a very low level of consumer sentiment that was also pushing back the interest in the type of services. But right now, what we can say is that the Amazon is getting back to its previous path way to become the one of the biggest companies in the world in terms of market cap, and even though it has a little bit dropped in its position globally, still there are many gauges that are pointing that this company will thrive in the on the long run. So when it comes to things that I wanted to point out, price to sales ratio has slided, but it's a positive one thing. But getting back to operating margin and also operating income, so it is something that getting us into a point where we can say that is what we observed is decreased profitability that was observed, and also we have missed the guidelines out of the earnings reports. Declining operating margin means the company is normally retaining a smaller portion of its revenue as profit, so it may eventually result in operating expenses such as rising costs of goods, and that's what we've seen during this inflationary period when those things eventually happened. So I wouldn't really push it toward this problematic of efficiency of the company, but because the efficiency is still in its pathway forward. But I would rather just push it to those outside outside factors that were very difficult to steer right in the previous month. So this investor concerns, this investors that were closely leaning back towards this inflationary pressure, where the headwinds were setting the headwinds, and right now it should be fading away. Exactly looking at what's going on with cash and debt, right now we are reducing financial risk and improving financial health, and eventually that's also very important thing. So it looks like the Amazon has gone through this very difficult year of 2022 with a kind of a optimistic outlook, and right now is right there, ready and steady to rock the scene of its services in the next year. So we are right now jumping into the next element, that is profit breakdown. So it was this chart was really presented in a way when we have this diversification throughout those profit breakdowns among North America, International, and AWS. And what we can find right here is that in 2022, when we had those headwinds globally, those macroeconomic turbulences, and also some of the threats that Amazon may get really bust during in some sectors, may get really bust by those lost relationships between many countries due to war. Right now we can find that Amazon has found its way in computing and also development in a cloud environment, and that was a very widely known strategy of this company for its forward-thinking approach in managing its stock. During the period when retail operations were profitable, the company strategically reinvested these profits into AWS. And even though it was at first maybe unnoticed by the public, right now it's finding a real I would say justification in its price. So AWS is the one of the greatest inventions of Amazon, and that's what you can find right here. That's right, rescuing Amazon stock from collapsing. So right now we can find that Amazon is trying to focus on many sectors, many new sectors, as well as advertising segment. But the key of its strategy is that they will develop in this digital world even faster, and that's what also putting us in favor of future growth trajectory. Right now, let's jump to what's the latest updates, and among them there is a FTC scandal. So Amazon is accused of engaging in conduct to exclude rivals in online marketplace services and stifle competition. So the allegations including forcing sellers to use Amazon's logistics and delivery services for prominent placement and punishing merchants offering lower prices on competing sites. So that's not the only one company right there that is suffering from such accusations. There is also Google that also been found as also the company that is stifling the competition. And I do think that there is many things to say about the background of the case, but I do need to just expose this, that those companies are too important to U.S. government, to U.S. economy, in order to have them really flushed into the toilet, literally, by limiting the operations. So it may eventually limited by to some extent, but normally I don't find that there will be a bigger chunk than just a couple percent of its operation. So overall, it may cause just temporary headwinds and just temporary hiccups in terms of the price. But I do find that as the history shows, the FTC hasn't had any of the very stifling impact on any of the large companies in the history. It's just the one thing that may push the evaluation for lower for just a moment, but normally the valuation of the company rebounds after the problems are faded. So right now I do find that even though the Amazon practices were about to affect both consumers and small businesses with potential consequences such as reduced product selection and higher prices, then I do find that even though Amazon, as in the past, many companies facing recent legal challenges will eventually come out of it stronger. So that's my point of view. Right now, let's jump to what's going on with cooperation that recently shocked the AI scene. So Anthropic is the one that Amazon has stake in right now. So Amazon is investing in Anthropic, the one of the greatest competitor of OpenAI, ChatGPT. So it looks like Amazon is trying to really find its place in this co-pilot type of a industry when we have this more advanced type of a support in terms of using the tools of the Amazon. So right now we can find that they may bring a technology synergy with this AI type of a new structures that are really bringing more power to user that is using that type of thing. So right now it's very difficult to say how exactly this cooperation may look like, but I do find that this synergy may lead to innovative solutions and accelerate the development of foundation models. So it may eventually help boost the Amazon in the ranks of this Magnificent Sevens, even forward with this PEs right now hitting a bit slightly lower levels than Microsoft and around Nvidia. So the price may eventually rise, and that's what we expect, that those companies that are really diving into AI may eventually push the prices and catch up this Tesla's price to earnings. So right now we can find that they should bring the market expansion, but also is finding a area where the competition is getting more fierce. There are many companies that right now are pushed toward this AI boom, and also whether it's Baidu, whether it's also Microsoft, Google, of course, and other that are developing very fast. There will be very fierce competition that I guess not every company will succeed of, but definitely in the long run, that's the move that may eventually bring this higher adoption of new types of solutions presented by Amazon. So even though the competitive landscape and maybe financial investment risk pose right there, I do find that in the long run, that's a great move. When it comes to other things, other revenue streams, Amazon is already a force in the advertising business, and also announced this month that it plans to tie ads into its Prime Video service. Let me know in the chat what you think about this move, because I do find that it may alienate subscribers seeking ad-free experiences, and for me, it's a rather poor move. I don't find that the modern type of a viewer is rather directed to circumventing, as I would say that, circumvented that ads type of a policy in order to just even in expense of paying for that, but they trying to, as the main viewers are using these modern platforms, streaming platforms, more users are trying to rather grab for something that is really get off and deprived of this advertisement environment. So this right now could potentially add billions of dollars in net revenue into the business, but I don't find it may also be found with a misunderstanding out of the public. So it will be very interesting to watch how it eventually figure out. So what lies ahead? Let's look at some analysis, and right here you can find that Amazon is to be traded in terms of earnings at higher valuations in 2024. So that's optimistic outlook right now is really having this narration in the stock, and even though the current turbulences are taking its place, I don't find that will eventually fade, and we'll have this kind of more positive quarters ahead for the company. So in terms of the price that is about to be traded in 5 years, or it's a 12-month forecast, so it's about even above 250 and higher toward 260. So right now it's a kind of positive, but not very over exaggerated outlook right there. So right now let's jump to macroeconomy, and right now we've been threatened by this possible US shutdown, and in summary, economists have been attempting to assess the extent of excess savings held by households during the after pandemic. This involves calculating the surplus savings beyond the expected amounts based on pre-pandemic trends, and this about the next image right here. So Americans are saving less and are willing to spend less. That's why it may weigh also on those companies as Amazon. But when looking about what is going on with government shutdown, those government shutdowns occurring when the regular funding and functioning of non-essential government services are temporarily halted due to some of the disruption in government funding, and that's all about this misunderstanding with debt ceiling, and those cases, those threats has been occurred back in the past, and every time it is out, this scenario is trying to really be taken as advantage by those market makers that are really pushing the price of the many of the stocks in a type of a volatile fashion, and in order to shake out those weak hands. So I do find that when it comes away, when this threat will eventually be faded, the market will eventually return to its growing trajectory. So it's prolonged government shutdowns finding that it's not as scary as it may look at first. So right now let's listen to the lines, and let's find out what's going on the a chart, and I'm sending you to TradingView. So right today, we are trying to rebound out of the very important level of 123. That's where the volume profile is ending out of this area. So normally that's where the bulls should be sitting. That's somewhere where I do find that's where is the point of the maximum pain. But if we just have a look at next element, that's option chains. There you can find that the largest puts are sitting right at 119, whereas the highest calls are at 130. So 119 is the one that I would rather lean toward, that we may more likely visit this area rather than 130, as the open interest is the largest right here, and the market is usually not listening to the majority of the crowd. And in terms of the chart, right, once again, with the option contracts have been expiring on 6th of October, so in a week, right now we can find that the 119 is where this, what I said, the greatest pain is sitting at, when there was a very nice breakout right after, following this this level being met. And what I do find is that we may go through these levels of 119, but I am not really finding this one to meet at the 115. So the price is revolving around this level of maximum pain, and I do find that that's where the rebound may eventually take place. So we may go even lower to meet this 200 EMA average, exponential moving average, and right after, I do expect that we may start to rush once again upwards. So right now the outlook for the company is not dicey. I do find that after this correction, we may get eventually thrive even higher. But for this one, we need a stronger economy and also great sentiment on the stock market. That's what I expect may eventually appear in the fourth quarter. So I do find that in the fourth quarter, we may eventually get to level of 168. So I do expect another bull run, another leg of this rebound for Amazon, with the premise of better earnings in the next quarter. So I do find this level of 150 been crossed within at least 1.5, at most 1.5 month. So what's your point, however, on Amazon stock? Let me know in the chat or in the comments below the video. So overall, if we just jump to final thoughts and Q&A, right now I can say that Amazon is the great stock to buy if you're thinking of a long term. So in the past 2 years, Amazon battled inflation and invested heavily in its fulfillment network, successfully restoring operating cash flow, and it also almost getting to its record level. So right now we can say that also surprisingly the stock is currently trading at those lower valuations. But if we may say all of this about the country's components out of the Magnificent Seven, they all may be eventually evaluated higher. So even though this e-commerce sales has slumped lively right now, there is a improving environment that may eventually revive those data once again. And in the future, we may see even Amazon being traded at a double of current valuations. But let me know what you think about it. Are you investing right now or waiting for better times for Amazon? So thank you very much. That's it from me, and have a fantastic evening or the whole day, wherever you are. Thank you.